What is the best way to watch Power Rangers? Is it VHS? Is it DVD? Is it streaming like Netflix? Or was it cable back in the day? Let's talk about it, break it down, and listen to you guys. Hit that intro, Rangers.
You are watching the Fan Club.
You're watching the Fan Club.
And you're watching the Fan Club. Do you know what time it is?
And you know what time it is.
It's time for the Fan Club. Let's go. Hey!
I can't do this on my own, cause you know things ain't always sweet when you out here in these streets. But my morpher when it morphed, I made a fake one.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Fan Club. It is your boy Dan Brosnan in the building. We are so happy to have you guys. Welcome. Yesterday, we did a video talking about the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers AI reversion season that's coming out in a few months, and the fans were eating up this show, like, not in a good way. They were eating it alive, all right? They were real pissed because there wasn't much of a difference between the original and the AI. It did make it brighter. In some situations, it did make things look better, but a lot of the time, you either couldn't really notice much of a difference, or it just kind of washed a lot of the colors out. Like, the original looked better in a lot of different stills that we showed yesterday. And that video sparked up the conversation about what is the best way to watch Power Rangers. There were some fans in the comments saying, well, this AI is proof why you gotta have it on DVD, or you gotta have some VHS tapes to enjoy it how it was originally supposed to be made. And it got me thinking of like all the different formats of Power Rangers media back in the day of how we used to watch it. So if you are like an OG Power Rangers fan like me, who is just grew up in the 90s, I got lucky, born in 91. So by the time this show came out, I was 2, 3, already watching it and understood what was going on. And it was on Fox back in the day. Now, early in Fox's lifespan, it wasn't on the same level of like ABC or NBC or anything like that, and they were still building. So a lot of the time, you could pick up this channel for free in a lot of areas. I remember this was the only channel that you could pick up back in the day. So even if you didn't have money or anything like that, you could, as long as you had an antenna, you could always get Fox Kids for free. And I know for a few years, we didn't always have cable. I know when I moved in with my grandma, we always had cable. She had to watch her Wheel of Fortune and stuff like that. But most of the time, I remember having Fox on if it was cable or antenna, and it was just awesome to get that and watch it. Now, even though I do miss like the commercials and the bumpers and all that stuff because it's nostalgic, who wants to just sit there and watch all of the commercials all of the time? Sometimes it's really awesome just to watch it straight through without any type of interruptions. That's why I don't think that the cable presentation of it back in the day was probably the best way to watch it, especially if you were watching it on cable or antenna. It's probably not digitally remastered or anything, and it probably didn't look the best, but at the time, we didn't care. I loved it. I loved watching Power Rangers. We didn't care about any of that, but I guess if you're thinking of memories and nostalgia, I could get somebody saying that is the best way to watch it, especially like back in the day when Power Rangers was at its height. Like, a lot of the commercials were for Power Ranger toys and Power Rangers merchandise, and you would have your public service announcements featuring the Power Rangers. So there were a lot of good memories, and if someone says, hey, the best ways to watch it back in the day, like, go get a VHS tape of the recording from Saturday morning cartoons. I'm not going to argue, even though it's probably not the best way picture quality wise. The next thing we're going to talk about are VHS tapes. Now, we all know that VHS is a format that went out, like 2004, 2005. It came, what was it established? What, the VHS come out, the 70s, 80s, like late 70s, early 80s? I want to say that VHS was around for a very long time, and then the DVD came around. But VHS tapes is always funny to me because even though the quality is not as good as a DVD, I do get fond memories of opening up a VHS tape, and I loved the big old case that you used to get for it. Now DVDs, just that little slender case, and got even smaller with Blu-rays, but you really had to make the packaging look good on a VHS tape, and some tapes got purchased just because they had a really cool graphic on there and stuff like that. Man, the VHS time was crazy. Now, even though I will say that like the quality isn't the best, there is a nostalgia factor, just like cable, with the previews and all that stuff, putting it in and rewinding it. And even though like rewind and fast forward, that's kind of the things you don't like, kind of comparable to the commercials on TV. So I don't think that is the best way to watch it, but VHS is definitely up there. The next option that I think is pretty awesome is the streaming aspect. And man, if you asked me like 6-7 years ago, I'd probably say that was the best option. However, now that I know what I know now, one, the quality is probably better than the cable and the VHS route, but it's probably not as good as the DVD. Maybe I'm wrong, so tell me, like, kill me in the comments, but it is streaming. So, like, they can only put it up so high as a resolution while it's streaming, correct? Like, if you have the actual physical copy, you'd be able to upscale it to, like, the highest resolution possible. Tell me if I'm wrong, but that makes sense to me if that makes sense to you. And at one point, like 7-8 years ago, you were able to watch every single episode of Power Rangers, or most, I should say. Most seasons of Power Rangers were on Netflix until 5-6 years ago. They took off most of them, and now we have a lot of the newer ones. So like you got at least one season of Beast Morphers, you got some Dino Fury, Cosmic Fury, and the first 3 seasons of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. No Alien Rangers, no Zeo, nothing like that. And Netflix is definitely a good place to watch it. There are no commercials as of right now, knock on wood. So that's one thing that like I do appreciate, and probably why I put that at like second best. The other option is YouTube. Now, most seasons are on there. I think all the way up to Dino Charge, I believe. They have episode after episode of Power Rangers on the official YouTube page, but there are commercials, but it is all free and you don't have to pay for anything if you don't want to. It's freaking awesome. So unlimited Power Ranger episodes, pretty much. I mean, it takes you a very, very long time to watch that beginning to end, so it's not technically unlimited, but you know what I mean. A crap ton of episodes for free. That's another great option. And I believe the best option, in my opinion, is the physical media. Physical media, you just can't beat it because you always have it on deck, no matter what happens with streaming. That's a big reason why I can't say streaming is number one, just because you don't technically own it if you stream it. Even if you buy a digital download, I learned you don't technically own that. You're technically renting that digital download. Now, some people are going to be like, well, I've had this for years, but there have been digital downloads and things that just go missing and no longer there, and deals, and like you go in and all of your old stuff is gone. We've heard horror stories about that, guys. Same thing with like streaming platforms. For a long time, they can keep something on there, but something can always leave. A deal can always be done to move that somewhere else, take it and move it over here. It happens all of the freaking time. And with physical media, you have it at your disposal, your fingertips. Next, with a lot of these newer DVDs, you're able to upscale them, at least use a Blu-ray player and upscale DVD player where it's probably going to look the best as it's going to look compared to if you're streaming it or watching it on YouTube. Even though like streaming and like YouTube is not bad. I'm definitely not shitting on them, but because you don't have the actual format in front of you, there's a chance it could look grainy, especially depending on what your internet speeds are like. The physical copy is great because you can always have these on deck, and yeah, they're DVDs, they can get scratches, but if you take care of them and don't overuse them and have, a collection for the kids and then a collection for yourself so you can watch them when time need be, you're gonna be good, man. And I guess there's so many ways you could even rip DVDs these days. Like, I do love VHS, but over time, we know, like, every 20, 30 years, the quality just starts to really go down with the film on VHS. At this point, I've had some of these DVDs for like 20 years, especially some of like the SPD ones, and they're still working to this day. That means something. And physical media, you just can't beat it. I wish they made more Power Rangers on Blu-ray, because that would be, the best. I think there was a couple seasons. Tell me like which ones they were if you remember. I remember they had Samurai was on Blu-ray or something. Did they ever put Mighty Morphin? Interesting. I know they have like the 95 movie on Blu-ray and the 2017 movie on Blu-ray. There's a couple things on Blu-ray, but not very much. Obviously, that's your best format, but at the end of the day, I think physical media trumps everything, no matter if it's VHS or DVD or Blu-ray, just because you have it on deck. Now, obviously, you're going to argue that DVDs and Blu-rays are better than everything else because of the quality, but just keeping physical media is the key. You guys know that I love Power Rangers physical media. I have I want to say almost 100 items at this point. I love it. It's a lot of fun collecting stuff like that. But what is your favorite Power Rangers media platform? How do you watch Power Rangers? Let me know in the comments. Shout out all the fans out there that take the time out of their day to watch this content. You are the real MVPs, and we'll see you next time. Peace. I want to give a special shout out to the Gold Ranger members Salima Ramirez, Stephen Heffelman, Anime King Nick, Louis Cairns, Thomas Franco, and Roderick Ham. Thank you guys so much for your support. And if you want a video shout out like this one, sign up to be a Gold Ranger member today. Hey, what's going on? Thank you so much for watching this video. Please like, subscribe, hit that share button, and if you can, please sign up to be a member today. We have 3 membership power-ups. We have the Gold Ranger power-up, the most popular. You get into our exclusive fan club chat group. We have fan exclusive videos that we are adding monthly now, and you get a video shout out. Yes, folks, at the end of our videos, I will shout out your name. We also have the Quantum Ranger power up where you get monthly meetings online with me. Yes, folks, we will talk once a month on Zoom, and you can give me your ideas for future episodes. And then we have a professional package, the Dr. K power up. That is for businesses that want to tap into the platform. If you guys can, please sign up to be a member today. It is highly appreciated, and it helps us keep these videos going. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Peace.
Hi, we're Bulk and Skull. We have been requested by the fan club to say something funny.